Take your seats. Please take your seats. Are we all here? Okay. Let me open the meeting, the annual meeting, the 174th annual meeting of Washington Hebrew Congregation. Is this working? Is this working? Is this working? Hello? This is working. Good. Can't tell here. The first order of business is the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. And I'm actually hoping that there's someone who read them to notice that there's a typo. David, are you holding your hand up that there's a typo? Do you want to tell us what it is? Yeah. So it actually says that the 174th meeting was on, which is the meeting of June 9th, 2024, was held on June 9th, 2025. And obviously that's not correct. It's obviously not correct. So with that typo changed, thank you, David. Is there a motion to approve? Thank you. Second? All in favor? Thank you. So as with all meetings of the Board of Directors and of Washington Hebrew Committees, we start with a Devar Torah, and we turn to Senior Rabbi Shankman.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. In the Torah portion we read this week, Shalach Lecha, God commands Moses to send 12 emissaries to scout out the Promised Land. Each of these representatives were chieftains, leaders of their tribes. And when they returned, 10 of the 12 brought back discouraging reports of what they had seen. Only Joshua and Caleb were guided by their faith in God, their vision for what could be, and their confidence in the strength of the collective community. Joshua and Caleb told the Israelites, "The land that we traversed and scouted is an exceedingly good land. If pleased with us, Adonai will bring us into the land, a land that flows with milk and honey, and give it to us. Only you must not rebel against Adonai." The Torah has a way of making even ancient leadership challenges feel remarkably current. One can almost imagine the scene: a fact-finding mission, conflicting impressions, an anxious community awaiting the report, and no doubt, more than one person wondering whether it could all have been handled in a shorter meeting. They clearly did not have Jeff Weiss leading them, with Melissa Schwartz by his side. If they had, they would no doubt have arrived in the Promised Land in 40 days rather than in 40 years. Every chieftain would have understood their responsibility and been solution-focused when confronting challenges rather than complaining and whining about wanting to go back to Egypt. Every community in every generation is called to enter terrain it has not fully walked before. Sometimes that unknown territory is marked by challenge, sometimes by possibility, often by both at once. And perhaps that is why this ancient story continues to speak so powerfully to us. Because the deepest question is never only what lies ahead, but how we choose to meet it, with fear or with faith, with hesitation or with the confidence that together and with God's help, we can rise to meet what awaits us. This evening, we celebrate all those whose leadership and devotion have enhanced the fabric of our sacred community. I feel blessed every day to work beside our vibrant and talented clergy team, Cantor Susan Bortnick, Rabbi Aaron Miller, Rabbi Eliana Fischel, and Rabbi Rachel Schmelkin, with whom I share this holy endeavor, as well as our creative and dedicated senior staff, some of whom are here this evening: Ira Miller, Jen Millstone, Craig Goldberg. Did I miss anyone who's... No, don't worry, I'm going to get to her. Along with every individual who brings their full self each and every day to the work they do on behalf of Washington Hebrew. And I am grateful to work side by side with Lindsay Feldman as we continue to build the systems and structures that ensure Washington Hebrew remains a healthy, thriving synagogue for those who labor within it and for those who come through our door seeking community, meaning, and belonging. For only when we are truly rooted and rising from the inside out can we carry this sacred community forward with strength and integrity. Last year, at this time, the clergy chose the theme, Rooted and Rising, to guide us through 5786. It captures our history and our aspirations and expresses the vibrancy of our thriving congregation, and it certainly reflects the lay leaders we celebrate this evening. I want to take a moment to offer special gratitude for the devoted service of our outgoing president, Jeff Weiss, whose steady leadership, yes, you can applaud, go ahead. I heard a couple whose steady leadership has helped guide Washington Hebrew congregation with strength and care, literally lador vador, from generation to generation. Jeff, as our 70th president, has bookended his great-great-great-grandfather's presidency, the first in our storied history. And he has done so with intention, dedication, and a deep love and connection to Washington Hebrew congregation that is shared by his wife, Christy, and by their children, and now grandchildren as well. I'm grateful for the family history that rooted our relationship when I first arrived at WHC 25 years ago. Well, actually before that, but that I knew about 25 years ago. And I'm even more grateful for the work that we have done together to strengthen us as we rise toward our next chapter. And tonight we lift up our incoming president, Melissa Schwartz, as she prepares to lead with wisdom, vision, and love for this congregation. Melissa, there's something deeply moving about the fact that your story with Washington Hebrew congregation began right here in this very room. Shabbat after Shabbat, your family came through those doors as you set down roots in this congregation, right? Actually, they're sitting in the seats that they always just wave, that they always sit in. And you made Washington Hebrew your spiritual home long before Washington Hebrew asked anything of you in return. We are so grateful that the journey that began in this chapel now leads you to this moment. And I feel blessed to continue to work beside you and Lindsay in Sacred Partnership, and also to welcome Eric Rayson into our leadership team. We pray together that the vision that has led us for 174 years will continue to inspire us to do exactly what it says outside on the cornerstone of our building. The words of Micah, do justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God, and we would add, and with each other. It is a fitting and powerful reminder for the leaders and members of Washington Hebrew congregation as we join to reflect on our shared journey and set our goals for the future as we enter into our 175th year. For we know that our decisions and deliberations are expressions of the fulfillment of God's promise. Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Adonai our God and God of our ancestors, we have come into your sacred sanctuary to give thanks for the goodness you have bestowed upon us and to ask your continued guidance on our shared journey. Bless the leaders of our congregation with wisdom and vision as they labor on behalf of our spiritual home. As we continue to be rooted and rising, may we remain deeply grounded in the sacred values and enduring legacy that sustain us. May we meet opportunities and responsibilities guided by faith and fortitude, and may we meet challenges with the strength of conviction and the courage of Joshua and Caleb. Oh God, we ask your blessing upon those gathered here, those who have been summoned to serve Washington Hebrew congregation and Am Yisrael, the Jewish people. May you continue to look with favor upon our words and our deeds. May our actions bring us ever closer to the proverbial promised land, a land flowing with milk and honey. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may that be God's will. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me start by simply expressing, in the most humble way, my gratitude for your having allowed me to serve as your president these years. It has been deeply meaningful to me and continues to be. I do love Washington Hebrew, and as Melissa said a few minutes ago, it's been 18 years since Hank Levine invited me to join the board, 14 of which were on the executive committee. Our historic synagogue is in great shape as we celebrate our 174th annual meeting. We are Washington Hebrew, and we are, as you've heard severally, rooted and rising. The sacred partnership among clergy, staff, and leadership, a phrase often repeated, is true and alive. I'm grateful to each of you for all you have taught me, and I'm going to speak about some of that. As Warren Buffett observed, character and culture matter more than rules. Strong teams are built on trust, shared values, and willingness to learn from one another. Meaningful accomplishments rarely come from individual effort. It requires patience to build consensus, humility to listen, respect for differing viewpoints, and trust in one another. This team's collaboration and common purpose taught me lessons beyond measure. Thank you for all you have taught me. Well, Warren Buffett reminds us that culture is built on trust and integrity. Machiavelli reminds us that organizations succeed when leaders surround themselves with capable people, welcome honest advice, and unite diverse talents around a common mission. Together they teach, Machiavelli and Warren Buffett, who knew that they were going to be paired together. Together they teach that enduring leadership requires both strong values and effective execution. It is now my turn to say thank you. You guys aren't sitting together. Sue and Susan. Sue and Susan, we became seniors together over 25 years, as we celebrated last week. We have shared a lifetime of experiences and lessons: patience, listening, respect for different values and perspectives, trust. These are not simply qualities of leadership, but they embody every step of the way of our congregation, and all who have the privilege of each of your ministries is the better for it. Thank you. Aaron slipped out for good reason. Aaron, we have been brothers, he's probably streaming, from your first days when I served as your PDC. Watching your journey from those first steps in the rabbinate to the exceptional rabbi you are today is a privilege and a joy. I am proud of all you, Aaron, have accomplished and grateful for your friendship, partnership, and leadership. Eliana and Rachel, thank you for both gracing Washington Hebrew. I don't know where everyone's sitting. Thank you for waving. Thank you for gracing Washington Hebrew with your rabbinates. You are both bring grace, warmth, intelligence, and vision to help us reach our stars. You inspire the congregation today and help us shape the future. I look forward to watching your journeys unfold and to your 25th celebrations. Lindsay, we have worked so closely for over a decade, and during that time, this is true, I have come to believe there is truly nothing you can't do or handle. Whether through your deft management, empathy, accountability, supporting colleagues, managing countless details, you bring intelligence, grace, and unwavering dedication to all you do. Your leadership is without bounds, and I am so grateful for your friendship and partnership. I know Mohan went home earlier because we've got a couple of busy days right now, but everything in these buildings happens because Mohan makes it easy and seamless. The words no and how don't exist in his vocabulary. I am grateful to Mohan. I think Craig is here. There you are. Craig, you started here with the highest security event ever at Washington Hebrew, Joe Lieberman's memorial service. We watched as Shin Bet and the Secret Service sparred. That was really cool. It was a lot of fun and a great way to start. Your mark on our community is appreciated, sacred, and enormous. Ori, is Ori here? Ori, thank you for your patience and your growth in communications. I look forward to watching you expand effective communications to ensure all groups in our community feel informed, connected, and engaged. Stephanie Tankel, you here? Thought she was here. Stephanie, you are a world-class educator. She truly is. Your command of Jewish learning and vocabulary is remarkable, and your creativity, vision, and leadership ensures our children receive the strongest possible foundation. Alexis Shannon, in your first year, you have organized philanthropy and helped us exceed our goals. More on that later. We wish you all the best this summer. She's expecting a young person. And Alexis, keep dreaming. Drew, welcome to Washington Hebrew, and thank you for bringing professionalism and disciplined approach to our financial management and reporting. Now to the board and the executive committee. The executive committee is Josh Galper, Nancy Duber, Dan Warner, Evan Winston, Jamie Hotchkiss, Kimberly Wackham, Richard Newman, Tony Fleming, and Eric Reisen. It is such an honor to serve with each of you. We trust in one another and draw strength from our common purpose, devotion to our sacred community, to our shared grounding in Jewish values, and our shared responsibility for the well-being and future of our synagogue. Thank you all for each you have taught me. There you are. I'm not leaving you out. You didn't have to worry. Melissa, thank you for your judgment, empathy, and accountability, for being an extraordinary partner and a sounding board, and for always knowing the right thing to say, and for simply agreeing to step up and serve in this role. Who knew that she would agree to that? Unbelievable. Your values, warmth, and unwavering commitment to our community have made you a trusted presence to so many. I have full confidence you will lead our synagogue with wisdom, compassion, and grace. We are fortunate to have you, and I am deeply grateful for your partnership and friendship. Thank you. To the past presidents, thanks to so many of you for showing up all the time and tonight. You are incredible role models, and I served under quite a few of you. Hank Levine nominated me, and as presidents, I had the honor of serving under Peter Winnick, Lauren Rakusin, Sherry Binderman Kahn, Meg Flax, David Astrov, Nell Shapiro, Mark Director, and Lou Weiner of blessed memory. That's a lot. And for the 13 of you who I didn't have the opportunity to serve under, you were regular counsel and sounding boards. During COVID, we closed our doors, but with intention, opened our hearts, and invented and invested in virtual communication. Lou became president in the wake of COVID, when our greatest challenge was reconnecting. For 2 years, Lou Weiner encouraged us to gather, and gather we did. We showed up for Washington Hebrew, for Lou and his family, for the Israeli hostages, and for one another. Our clergy's reimagined worship and Mondays at Macomb became a lighthouse, drawing people toward community, friendship, and purpose. Together, they sparked one of the most vibrant periods of Jewish communal life in our congregation's history. As a personal comment at this moment, tonight is my dad's 25th yahrzeit. We lost him when he was way too young. He was a great guy, and I miss him a lot. Let's talk about outcomes and what's next. Yes, we are a large, diverse, thriving, Reform, Zionist synagogue in the nation's capital, and we should each cherish all of those words. In the last 2 years, we wrote and created together our strategic vision, rooted in tradition and rising to tomorrow. Everyone in this room has probably memorized it. Half of you helped write it, so I'm not going to recite it. but it sits on 4 pillars. We're a thriving community. We work deeply and effectively on education and social justice. We're a leader, number 3, in the larger Jewish community, and we do this with financial stewardship. The accomplishments in the last years are reflected through board leadership. Israel engagement. Sam Davidoff and Rachel Weinberg, boy, have you done it with Israel engagement. From Nama's being here for a week and a half in the fall, to what you did with Gideon Bromberg, to what we did as a community for the Israeli the Hostage Family Forum throughout their ordeal, how this congregation showed up for the World Zionism Organization, and as mentioned, we hosted Joe Lieberman's memorial service. And boy, that trip to Israel was a lot of fun. I can only encourage others to sign up the next time we go. We're doing that, right, Melissa? Yes, good. Anti-Semitism. Nancy Duber and Lanny Brewer. You've been there constantly. And boy, that Noah Chisby event was fantastic. And tomorrow night with Rachel Goldberg Poland in the sanctuary. I hear we have 1,800 of our nearest and dearest friends coming to this building. Unbelievable. Education. Education's a core pillar. Kimberly Walken, Janet Katz, Julie Schulman, Stephanie Tankel, the newly designated Family Engagement Center at Macomb will enrich children and reinvent family life here. The religious school is thriving, the high school programs are growing and doing so well, and the ECC at the Julia S. Binderman Suburban Center is fantastic. Membership. Kimberly Vogel and Jen Millstone, you're awesome. Membership is up, and our community is engaging. Thank you. On social justice, we do a lot. Janet Katz and Dan Warner, thank you, and so many others. We know the big things, Sunday stuffings, mitzvah day, but if you really want to remind yourself what we're doing and all the time in social justice, read, if you haven't yet, the Tikkun Olam Tov Fund report. So we created the Tov Fund over a dozen years ago. We just printed a report on what we raised, what the outcomes were, and it's truly remarkable and worth reading. In philanthropy, Jamie Hotchkiss, there she is, Alexis Shannon, Sam Davidoff. All I can say is we're hitting it out of the park. You're going to report on it in a few minutes. But from the number of gifts to the breadth of the gifts to the actual dollars to hiring some consultants, knowing what our key priorities are and next steps, the impact of philanthropy is enormous on this synagogue and so important. The first cousin of philanthropy, finance, Eric, thank you. Lindsay, thank you. Drew Gullip, who isn't here, thank you. We balance the budget. I'm getting to you. You don't have to raise your hand. I got you covered, Evan. You're on my list. We balance the budget. And for those of you who are past presidents and have hung around the hoop for a while, it's real. It's real, and it's really important. We did it through incredible cost control, cash management. We budgeted the withdrawals from the endowment as planned. We changed banks. We underwrote and improved our insurance so that we actually have insurance. And we dramatically paid down our long-time line of credit. We did all that just now. By the way, for those of you who aren't following, a few years ago, we changed our investment policy statement for how we manage our endowment. We hired Goldman Sachs to run the endowment. Goldman Sachs uses our investment policy statement as an example of best practices, and we wrote it. We should be very proud of that. I'm over to you now, Evan. You've been waiting for this. He got up, he was on an 8 o'clock plane from Los Angeles. Evan got here. That's pretty impressive. Thank you. You made your wife go with you, I'm told. Evan, you, Matthew Reiskin, Lindsay, we just had dinner in an extraordinary example of your outcome. The rebuilt Edlovich Hall is magnificent, done on time and under budget. We're installing world-class audio, video, and live streaming. We have radically increased in security, which I'll get to, and we're doing all that for now to prepare for the future. I got you again, Evan. This is about security. Evan's got a lot of hats. Security. Evan and Greg Goldberg have continually upgraded and enhanced security, and it's not just the physical security and the stuff that you see. It's good that you see some stuff, but what's, I will tell you, perhaps more important is the stuff that we don't see. And there's an awful lot of security going on behind the scenes and effective risk management that we don't see, and that's really important. It's physical, it's near physical, and it's cyber. And if any of you don't know, Evan's in the fence business, among other things, and boy, are we grateful for those fences, and they're pretty strong and attractive. Thank you. So I told you I had you in here. Programs and worship. Sue, Lindsay, Ira, all clergy and staff. It would take all night to list all the things that have gone on in the last year, and I won't. I've mentioned Noah Chisby, the Goldberg Polands tomorrow, what happens here on Monday nights. You know, when the past presidents know that as a president, you gather with presidents of other synagogues around the country. And when you sit with the other presidents, everyone's like, what's the talk? Like, what's going on? What's happened at your place? I'll tell you what's happened at my place. It's kind of fun. And among other things, when I met with them and talked to them, I talked about the fact that we have 250 people here on Monday nights. And they look at me like I must be crazy. Like, Monday night is not a night in their vocabulary to go to synagogue. Did you say Friday night? No, we have that many on Friday night, but on Monday night, they're all here, and it's just unbelievable. And it's because of what the clergy and the staff have done. Shabbat, the days of the week, Tat Shabbat, hundreds and hundreds of people through this building every week. Marketing communications. For those of you who feel you're getting too much, shout about it in a positive way, because you should be getting too much. Ronit Schmelzer and Tony Fleming and Ori Huffer, thank you. We're working hard on branding, messages, themes, personas, using artificial intelligence, understanding social media, figuring out how it's important and how to target it, and how to use all of that effectively. We've done a lot of celebrations. And Lauren Rakusin and Josh Weinberg, thank you for chairing the 25th last week and the 175th next year. They were just fantastic celebrations with more to come. Josh Geltzer. Andrew, you guys always sit together? Is this just a thing? You must like one another. You can whisper that way, right? You can whisper. This is all privileged conversation. I can't tell you anything about what they do because it's all privileged. And Stephanie Gold, thank you. You know, being in charge of governance on the executive committee is really hard because it's important that you get it right. And you guys do get it right. And you get it right in these years in gift acceptance, in the loan policy, in managing conflicts of interest, in personnel matters. You navigate and manage matters of sensitive and critical importance, and thank you. Melissa, I've already mentioned other things about you, but there's a committee called the Professional Development Committee. And for those of you who aren't familiar, it's actually one of the greatest privileges and joys because the Professional Development Committee pairs people in leadership with the clergy and Lindsay. And it is about personnel, it's about mentoring, it's about career development, it's about how they interact with the synagogue and making everything come out better. Melissa, you know, I've been on this committee for a really long time. Melissa came in, and the first vice president is always responsible for the Professional Development Committee. Melissa came in with intention, and she restructured it. She focused on mentoring, on an outcome-based approach, and we now have a structure to the PDC, which I think has radically improved how everyone interacts and how the temple will benefit as a result. And thank you for doing that. It's been a great joy to watch that. It was already mentioned that Peter Winnick, who's been a past president for quite a while, stepped up again twice in a row. So for the nominating committee by bylaws, there you are, the nominating committee by bylaws is to be chaired by the immediate past president, and for obvious reasons that couldn't have happened right now. And Peter stepped up, and as I learned from Peter, he did it 8 or 10 or 12 years ago, a while ago also. So he's a very experienced, if you're on any other organizations and you need someone to help you on nominating, Peter's your man. Thank you. And Hank, thank you for what you've been doing and what you've done forever in the Garden of Remembrance. It will be remembered. It is remembered. It's like a dad joke, right? And Lauren Ragusin, thank you for taking it over. And the Memorial Park Historic Cemetery, our final property, has no committee, and maybe it should. So I have to get a bag, excuse me. So you knew that was there for a reason. I told you. I brought the big bag to hide this in. Okay. So Melissa, Sue, Susan, and Lindsay, you are the leaders in our sacred partnership of clergy, staff, and lay leadership. A dear friend, now of blessed memory, once said, quote, "Women belong in all places where decisions are made." Yes, Justice Ginsburg's famous statement could not be more fitting for each of you. Each of you whose wisdom, leadership, and dedication help shape our congregation every day and guide the most important decisions. It is therefore especially appropriate that those words are emblazoned on the simple tote I have here, which I hope you will carry and use with pride. And not to be left out, Rachel and Eliana.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
That's so sweet.
Yes, I am in fact humbled to have served this sacred community, one that operates with intention, with friendship, with professional leadership, caring, truly diverse perspectives, love for one another, and shared values. Let's conclude and check on how we're doing with that strategic vision. Thriving, check. Education and social justice, check. Leader in the larger Jewish community, check. Financial stewardship, check. Melissa, we got a few more minutes, but you will shortly be president to lead this organization, rooting and rising. And as we say, 175, here we come. Thank you. All right, Eric, it's up to you. Let me introduce Eric Ryson to give a treasurer's report. And then you're just going to introduce others.
I will. I'm good. Yeah.
You guys will snowball.
Okay. That was a great 5-minute speech, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
It wasn't supposed to be that funny. Yeah, and Kimberly, it is 6/7 today. This was not Shabbat. Be funny. So you quoted Warren Buffett, so I'm actually going to give a different Warren Buffett quote because we did not plan this, obviously. But Warren Buffett once said, "You're sitting in the shade because someone else planted trees." And I feel very fortunate to serve on your executive committee, to serve on the trees that you've planted. So let's give a round of applause to Jeff. So I also want to give a heartfelt thank you to Rabbi Shankman, to Melissa, to Lindsay, to Drew, to Evan, to Richard Newman, who was treasurer for at least a dozen years, 20, 30, how many years, Richard, were you treasurer? Treasurer joke, very good. Ba-boom. Evan, we got to write that down for another year. Okay. That's good little humor. It's good, okay. I also want to thank our Budget and Finance Committee, our Investment Committee, and our staff for their dedication to managing our temple's finances with such care. And our lay leadership, our clergy, and our staff have poured their hearts and souls in ensuring, with their use of expenses, our financial well-being, all while passionately pursuing our sacred mission. And as we celebrate, I thought it was our 175th year this year. As we celebrate our 175th year, I agree with Jeff that Washington Hebrew Congregation continues to flourish as a vibrant center of Reformed Jewish life, connection, and community. We're dedicated to offering impactful and inspiring programs and services that resonate with our values. We really have 1,800 people coming tomorrow night. Wow. I'll be there, but a lot of other people will be there too. Parking will be difficult. Okay, yes. Julie Rayson will be auctioning off her parking spot. No, that's my daughter. No, anyway. However, to be a little bit more serious about financials, in light of today's financial and geopolitical landscape, our senior staff and lead leadership have proactively and tackled challenges head-on with creativity and foresight. So this past fiscal year, we've had continuous improvement to our financial operations. We've continued down the path of modernizing our financial operations, in part using our SAGE system of record. We've also continued to strengthen our internal processes and improved overall efficiency. We've completed 2 annual external financial audits, bringing our organization current. And as Jeff said, we transitioned to a new banking partner, changed health insurance providers, and through a new insurance broker, secured business insurance policies with expanded coverage. Looking ahead for key priorities for the coming fiscal year, continue us down the path of modernizing our financial capabilities, such as enhancing cash flow reporting and forecasting, further improving expense management practices, tightening monthly close and reporting procedures, enhancing transparency and financial oversight. I know you guys, when you signed up for this, that's what you want to hear about financial oversight. All these improvements are continue to position us to better support our philanthropic goals and our mission based upon work and clarity and strategic focus. Our efforts to create a stronger foundation for this year is fundraising and long-term sustainability initiatives, helping to support the organization's growing needs related to capital improvements, ongoing security enhancements, and other key institutional priorities. Throughout the year, with some efforts still underway, and thank you to Jamie Hotchkiss and others, we were fortunate to receive generous support for important capital improvements while remaining responsible stewards of those contributions by keeping projects within budget. Thank you, Evan. Examples include the renovation of Edgewood Hall, made possible through the generosity of Ginny and Erwin Edlich, and live streaming enhancements generally supported by the Berthoff Foundation and the Bernstein Foundations, which we hope to have completed in time for the high holidays. More specifically on our financials, and this is the Richard Newman way, when you used to say this, we anticipate concluding this fiscal year with both revenues and expenses tracking closely to the original budget projections. And in formulating the upcoming fiscal year budget, we look closely at this year's sources of operational revenue and expenditures. And upon recommendation of the Budget and Finance Committee, the Board of Directors has approved an operational budget of about $11.4 million in expenses and about the same in revenue for the upcoming fiscal year. It is worth noting, however, that only approximately 36% of our operating revenues come from member dues. Only 36% of our operating revenues come from member dues, highlighting the vital role that each of you play in our community sustainability and our need to actively cultivate a culture of philanthropy within our temple, a vital element to reinforcing our financial health for generations to come. Obviously, the temple appreciates all members, but as treasurer, I also especially appreciate our sustaining members and those donating to our annual fund, the Lewis S. Weiner Fund, in honor of our former beloved president, who I truly miss. I do miss him. As of May 31st, 2026, our investment portfolio, encompassing both restricted and unrestricted funds, and managed primarily by Goldman Sachs with oversight from the investment committee, and our financial staff stands at $21.7 million. If you're interested, copies of our audited financial statements are available upon request. Under the leadership of our senior staff, looking ahead, we anticipate the congregation's finances to continue to be well managed in the coming year, and after 4 years of treasurer, I'm happy to pass the treasurer baton to Eric Siegel if he's elected in a few minutes. And Evan Winston, I know he's very upset by this, will be passing on our assistant treasurer baton to Andy Shanker. Finally, it's a privilege to be nominated as first vice president. And I hope to serve as a thoughtful servant leader while helping to enrich the experience of our congregation for current and future generations. As Andrew Ross Sorkin once said from Squawk Box in the New York Times, we're all in the trust business. And those words resonate with me deeply because trust is the foundation of every strong community. It's built through integrity, transparency, consistency, showing up for one another, and especially during moments that matter the most. So I'm deeply grateful to this congregation for placing your trust in me. It's not something that I take lightly, and I look forward to working alongside our clergy, staff, leadership, and this extraordinary community as we begin building on our strengths and shaping a vibrant future together. Thank you for the confidence you placed in me, and thank you for the opportunity to serve alongside of our new president, Melissa Schwartz. Thank you. So next up is the Honorable Evan Winston.
Thank you. Thanks for thank you for bringing me up at 7:50 when we're due to adjourn at 7:50. Okay, you know who I am. The joke before was I am the assistant treasurer, and unlike Richard, I really don't know how to count. So Eric, amazing job. I did really nothing in my role as assistant treasurer. But I did some other things, and I'm going to update you on those. You know who I am. I just want to frame, for those of you who don't know, and the millions streaming, we have 4 facilities that we're responsible for under building and grounds and security. Macomb, where we are, Julia Suburban Bindeman Center in Potomac, Garden of Remembrance, and Memorial Park, which Jeff mentioned, does fall under our committee. And I'll say now, if any of those places are near and dear to your heart and you have care for the building or the security, we're always looking for committee members. So please let me speak up or talk to me anytime. I will update you on here at Macomb. It was this time last year, I stood right here and I looked at an easel and showed you pictures of Edlovich Hall. And I know most of you have already seen the finished product, but I'm proud to report that our renovation was an overwhelming success. Some of what I'm going to say, I'll go quickly, but has been touched upon tonight. I'll expand just a little. To start the project the middle of last summer and complete for a scheduled B'nai Mitzvah in early September, of course, have complete for the high holidays, was not only ambitious, but I can now fully divulge incredibly nerve-wracking. I'm looking around for some of those that shared in that stress. This aggressive timeline with extremely detailed finishes, taking into account dated electrical wiring, a recessed dance floor, intricate acoustical soundproofing. These are the things you don't think about that had to be thought about by true pros and coming under budget. And those true pros were a member-led committee of Matthew Reiskin, Christine Chan, and Allison Basson. They were simply incredible. Washington Hebrew is lucky to have this team. They are so dedicated, talented, and conscientious. So thank you to you 3. I know 2 of you are here. I would also like to thank Erwin and Ginny Edlovich for their continuous support and enhancement to Washington Hebrew. Their generosity and love will have a significant impact on generations to come. While honoring our past, we are building our future, and this is true legacy giving. Ginny and Erwin, you're helping to create and set the standard for first-class facilities we're committed to here at Washington Hebrew. It is our hope that this project is the start of many projects to transform and inspire, and you are helping to pioneer this vision. I also want to mention another exciting project that has been made possible by the generous contribution of the Samuel Berthoff MD Foundation and the Bernstein Family Foundation. We're undergoing an overhaul, which you heard a little bit about, of our cameras and video equipment to greatly improve our online streaming experience. There's been extensive planning and collaboration to allow for a system that is versatile and will allow for AV in both the Kaufman Sanctuary and in the Albert Small Chapel, where we are right now. Our goal is to create a well-produced, impactful, and enjoyable online streaming experience for those who are participating remote, for all services and events at WHC. We're excited to see this through and have in place for this year's high holidays. I think that just goes, when I say that, I don't know if that sticks out to everyone as a big deal, but it is, because there's so much here. We talked about COVID and the changes. So to have the same care for excellence we do in our physical space and care about the so many that do stream, I think is important. And again, we're fortunate for those donors and to get that project going. The Julia Suburban Binneman Center in Potomac, we're finishing our 3rd year with the McLean School as a partner and tenant, and we continue to work closely with them on routine maintenance and also taking on smaller projects to keep the facility well kept and operating efficiently. We've had a productive year in maintaining the grounds, and we will keep this momentum going into next year. Also, last summer, we installed a decorative ornamental fence around several gates to offer not only security, but offer an aesthetically pleasing fence to enhance curb appeal in the perimeter. So many members have commented on how great it looks and how much safer they feel with an enclosed campus. And I have firsthand experience that not everyone is always so complimentary of a new fence project. So we are very happy how this one turned out. Fencing, rolling right into security. We know how, on a serious note, even with news today, it's incredibly critical. I too will mention Lou, just because as soon he pointed to me when the time was obvious we had to do it and said, we're going to create a security task force, and we need to get this back and going, and we need to get security enhanced, and we need to make that our priority. And I'll talk about some of what we've done, but really the people that have stepped up and made security priority and weaved it in. So like Jeff said, the idea is you don't see it, but that's the goal. I've got so many comments from people that they don't feel safe or that this or that, but I will just tell you that that's the point. There's things you see, there's things you don't, and it's a nonstop effort to keep all of our facilities and our congregants secure. So here are some of the highlights. $660,000 has been secured in security grants, with another $469,000 pending. This is federal government, DC, and Maryland. We're obviously right in the front of the line. We know all that's going on, and I'll talk in a second more about it, but we go after those grants as aggressively as possible. We've expanded armed security coverage with metal detectors and screening across both campuses. We've invested in major security infrastructure upgrades, including cameras, fencing, and access control, implemented stronger visitor screening, identification, and event security protocols. We've increased security training and strengthened law enforcement partnerships, and through the generosity of Ari Baranoff, we completed a cybersecurity assessment and upgraded critical communication system. Ari, who will definitely get elected as a new board member, and it has been from the beginning a vital and key security committee member, and we're very lucky to have him at Washington Hebrew. Thank you, Ari. That's a clap for Ari. He does a lot. Those are the highlights of our security accomplishments for 26, and we have plans to continue strengthening our security posture in 27. We're 100% committed to ensuring the safety of the entire Washington Hebrew community. I've already talked about that. In closing, we're late. Out of the year's accomplishments, I want to acknowledge, who's already deserved a little shout out, Director of Security Craig Goldberg, who's in the back here. If you spend any time here, and I know if you're here, that means you probably do, you see him often. He's incredible at grant writing, managing all facets of physical and cybersecurity, provides a friendly and comforting face to membership, and has quickly developed into a revered and respected leader within the local Jewish community. Thank you, Craig. We appreciate all that you do to keep us safe and secure. And these are actually Craig's words that I will close with. A final reminder, having a strong security in place team is a team effort and requires all of us in this room to be diligent and embracing our security protocols. We must all be vigilant during these challenging times, and please remember, if you see something suspicious, say something. I've said this at the beginning, but anyone who's interested in joining one of the committees, please let me know, and thank you.
I'm going to be quick. Unlike the two of you, I don't have a binder. I'm happy to see everyone here this evening. My name is Kimberly Vogel, and I am the chair of the membership committee. Congratulations, Melissa and Eric and Jeff. And thank you, Jen, for your partnership in membership. Our 2025 and 2026 membership year has been one of remarkable growth as we welcomed 104 new families to our Temple community. Our new members are a wonderful, diverse group that includes recent graduates eager to find a Jewish community beyond their college hallel, newlyweds and expectant parents building their first Jewish home together, families who want to give their children an outstanding Jewish education, and many, many millennials, Gen Xers, and baby boomers. Some are new to the DC area. Others have lived here for years, and each was seeking a Jewish home away from home where they could feel spiritually fulfilled and find genuine friendship. We asked new members how they discovered Washington Hebrew. Some have friends and colleagues who are members, and they were invited to join for a service or a program. Some found us through Google. Way to go, SEO. For others, it was a life cycle event, a b'nai mitzvah, wedding, or funeral. They shared that they were moved by the warmth they witnessed between our clergy and the families, with one new member adding, "When my family needs that kind of care and compassion, this is where I want to be." Some of our new members aren't new to Washington Hebrew at all. 18 households have returned. Former ECC families enrolling children in religious school, people who moved away and are now back in the area, and several former members who realized they missed the clergy, connection, and community that they had at Washington Hebrew. Whether you are new to our community or WHC has been your synagogue home for generations, your membership support makes all we do possible, and your involvement makes Washington Hebrew what it is. To our longtime and returning members, your continued presence and involvement make a tremendous difference. Washington Hebrew doesn't just have a strong community, it is a strong community because of you. As I hope you've seen in your inboxes, membership renewal is now underway. We thank you in advance for renewing your commitment to Washington Hebrew and to each other. Your membership is not just a dues payment, it is a statement that this place matters to you, that this community is worth investing in, and that you want to be part of all we will accomplish together in the year ahead.
Good evening. I'm Jamie Hotchkiss, the chair of the Development Committee. Let me also start by saying Mazel Tov, congratulations, Jeff. It's been such a pleasure working with you these past 2 years. Thank you for your incredible leadership, and congratulations, Melissa and Eric. Really excited to work with you in the coming years. We're going to continue to do great things together. So like I said, I'm the chair of the Development Committee, and I have the privilege of working alongside an amazing group of talented people, some of whom are here tonight. So I'm going to call out Deborah Berman, Meg Flack, Sam Davidov, also Helen Colson, Mark Duber, Ann Bolton, and alongside our Director of Development, Alexis Channon, and Rabbis Shankman and Miller. This year, the Development Committee placed a significant emphasis on strengthening the Louis S. Weiner Annual Fund and helping our members better understand why philanthropy matters at Washington Hebrew. The Louis S. Weiner Annual Fund matters because it provides the flexible, unrestricted support that allows us to respond to the needs of our congregation in real time. Restricted gifts are meaningful and important, but unrestricted operating support is what helps sustain the full breadth of WHC. This year, we were given a goal of raising $1.7 million. I'm proud to share that currently we are at $2,343,872. This includes $1.789 million to the annual fund and over $554,000 to unrestricted funds. In total, 1,237 households have given philanthropically above and beyond dues this year, whether to the annual fund or to a restricted fund. Last year, we also exceeded our fundraising goal with a total of $1.5 million. So we've raised 53% more this year than we did last year, which is a huge success to celebrate, and thanks to all of you and your generosity. A major part of that shift has been our focus on communication, transparency, and stewardship. This year, for the first time, our annual report acknowledged donors based on their total giving, above and beyond standard dues. We launched the report electronically and shared it in print during the high holidays, helping members see themselves as part of a larger community of generosity. We worked closely this year with Kimberly Vogel, the membership chair, and Jen Millstone, our director of member engagement, to think more strategically about the relationship between membership and development. Rather than seeing these as separate areas, we are looking at them collaboratively because member engagement and philanthropy are just so interconnected. This year also included several major fundraising wins. In the fall, we received a $500,000 anonymous gift for security at a time when safety continues to be the most important priority for our congregation. We also began the year with a $100,000 high holiday match. Nearly 150 donors participated, contributing more than $130,000. That success inspired another donor to step forward with a second $100,000 match for our 8 Days of Hanukkah campaign. And that campaign brought in 181 donors and $114,000. This was the first year Washington Hebrew launched not one, but 2 major matching gift initiatives. These matches created real momentum, encouraged broader participation, and inspired some of our most generous members to lead by example. We hope to continue building on this strategy in the year ahead. We also secured $500,000 toward upgrading our live streaming capabilities thanks to 2 incredibly generous families. This is a meaningful investment in accessibility, connection, and the way people experience Washington Hebrew Congregation. And we expect those upgrades to be fully in place before the high holidays. We had many, many opportunities to bring members together this year. The President's dinners at Jeff and Christy Weiss's home created intimate conversations with different cohorts, including our most recent gathering with Adam Lehman, CEO of Hillel International, for parents of college-age students. We had more than 70 people at our Florida reunion for a beautiful cantorial concert, hosted multiple donor stewardship and thank you events, and welcomed Noah Tishby to Washington Hebrew, including a VIP reception, bringing together close to 800 people in total. We also celebrated Rabbi Shankman and Cantor Bortnick's 25th anniversaries, creating a wonderful opportunity for members to honor their extraordinary leadership and longevity at Washington Hebrew. And tomorrow we will welcome Rachel Goldberg-Polin and John Polin with more than 1,800 people who will join us in the Kaufman Sanctuary. As we look ahead to the coming year, our focus is on continuing this momentum, growing the annual fund, deepening stewardship, engaging more members in philanthropy, and preparing for the 175th anniversary, which is right around the corner. We've made tremendous progress thanks to your generosity, and the Development Committee is excited to keep building on this work in the coming year. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Walken. I'm chair of the Education Committee. For the past few years, we've really been focusing on the ECC and religious school, and both of them now are in a strong situation, and we want to change our focus next year. So next year, in addition to focusing on the ECC at the Bindeman Center and our religious schools, we want to focus on different groups, and that's why we're calling it family engagement. So in the next year, you're going to see a lot of different programs for 0 through 5, not just with parents, but with grandparents, caregivers, and other groups. We really want to focus on keeping our kids active at the temple. So that means after bar and bat mitzvah, what activities can we encourage them to be a part of before they go to college, then when they come home from college, and then we even want to start doing additional programs for the 22-39 young adults. And so it's very exciting, and we're thinking of new ideas of how we can engage people. So if anyone is interested in joining our committee, we would love to have your help. And we look forward to this time, I guess it won't be the annual report next year, but in 2 years, sort of reporting how things have changed in the next 2 years. Thanks.
Thank you. Can't make that stuff up. Those are unbelievable reports. Thank you so much. So one of the fundamental ingredients in the Washington Hebrew stew, I didn't write this, is the ongoing work of many volunteers whose presence shape temple life. Representing all those volunteers are the members whose terms in service of the board of directors is now completed. The retiring members of the board are Jennifer Birtsock, Sophia Haft, Michael Rocks, Mark Scheinison, and Dan Werner. And I know at least 2 of you are here, and if you would please join Lindsay, Melissa, and me on the bima. Thank you. Thank you so very much. And now I have the privilege of introducing he who needs no introduction. That's you, Peter. He who needs no introduction. Peter Winnick, head of the nominating committee. I think you can just go.
Thank you, Jeff. So let's elect some new board members. Good evening. It was an honor to chair this year's advisory nominating committee. And as it turned out, we had a lot of work to do. We're going to elect 24 of our members and colleagues tonight. Fortunately, I had the luxury of a strong committee that pitched in with their time and their wisdom. Many thanks to committee members Stephanie Gold and Andrew Lazaro, both of whom serve on WHC's board, and to congregants Peggy Borjali, Jessica Falkowitz, Laura Loeb, and Oliver Wolf for their service. In performing our duties, we sought and received the input from the congregation at large, as well as from the board, clergy, and staff. We started out with a long list of names as a result. We also assessed the board's needs and gaps. We discussed the prospective candidates and narrowed them to a short list, and then committee members interviewed each of the candidates we are recommending for election to the board this evening. We're going to flip the order and invite the 9 new board members up to the bima at this time. I'm not sure if we have all 9 here, but as many of you who are here, please join me up on the bima. And I will, as you're joining me, I will read their names. We are pleased to nominate to fill the remaining 2-year terms of vacated board seats the following 4 new members: Deborah Berman, Nick Ivanchik, David Kanstrom, and Robin London. And we are pleased to nominate to 3-year terms the following 5 new members: Ari Baranoff, Leanne Bortner, Rachel Fersheim, Robin Friedman, and last but not least, Laura Kaufman. Congratulations and thank you to all of you. And I might add, it was really one of my treats and pleasures as chair of the committee to make sure that I spent time with and met each of these new board members. It's a great group, I can assure you, and I know they will enhance an already strong board. Now we turn to the renomination of existing board members. And why don't you, if you're here, join us as well. Will Nancy Duber, Lanny Brewer, Josh Maxey, and Rachel Weinberg, I know at least several of you are here, please rise and join us as well. We nominate Nancy Duber to serve the remaining one-year term of a vacated board seat, and we nominate Lanny, Josh, and Rachel to serve full 3-year board terms. And we end this nominating committee report with an even more crowded BEMA, if all the new officers and executive committees can join us. I'm not sure what the weight load of this thing is, but Evan, I'm sure, can recite that to us, and we'll test it out. It's all on videotape. We nominate the following slate of officers for 2-year terms. As president, Melissa Schwartz. First vice president, Eric Rayson. Vice presidents, Tony Fleming, Jamie Hotchkiss, Janet Katz, Evan Winston. Secretary, Kimberly Walken. Assistant secretary, Renee Schmelzer. Treasurer, Eric Siegel. Assistant treasurer, Andrew Schenker, I believe is on a boat right now. And general counsel, Josh Galper. Thank you to all our nominees, new and old. And thank you to all of you for considering our recommendations this evening.
Thank you to Peter Winnick.
I think I have to call for approval.
You do.
Yeah. Wow. What an extraordinary group. Welcome all and congratulations all, but not yet because you haven't been voted on yet. So don't get your hopes up. Okay. So in accordance with the bylaws and the Constitution of Washington Hebrew Congregation, can I ask for a motion? Thank you. To approve the nominating committee report. And a second. All in favor? Thank you. Opposed? Comments? Hey, congratulations. You all got elected. Now we're going in here. Washington Hebrew Congregation has been blessed for the past 173 years. This is 174th beginning. May this historic congregation continue to serve God, the Jewish people, and our community with gentleness, kindness, and conviction.
Microphone.
You don't need my glasses.
No, I have mine. We gather in front of the ark to install those who have been chosen to lead our congregation. The history of our people puts strong emphasis on the principle that individuals were chosen by God for specific roles of leadership. We believe that God's voice speaks to us in this generation. I'd like to invite all of the past presidents who are here, and I realize they do not have this in front of them. So we're going to invite a few more people up to the bema, if you are able. Or actually, well, it'll take a while to get it up there. Yes, it's on here. It's very impressive, all of the past presidents who are here this evening. Lauren?
And if you're not standing up here,
Can I have one?
That's awesome. I'm now a past president. I can read it.
Everybody heard that? Jeff's going to lead the past presidents in his new role.
To be chosen by God. Come on. Can you read with me, ladies and gentlemen? God. is to recognize a purpose beyond today and to perceive a destiny beyond tomorrow. To be chosen by God is to be committed to a way of life.
To be chosen by the community is to realize that men and women are God's most special creation and that service to God means service to humankind.
To be chosen by the community is to listen to the words others speak, to hear words that go unspoken, and to respond. Chosen by the community is to stretch out one's hand to those in need of help and to the stranger who is homeless. To be chosen is to stand up when others falter, to step forward when others hesitate, to say, "Yes, I can," to oneself, and "Yes, I will," to others. Is to act and to commit to the things we do, the things we believe, to matter which we all determined by being chosen. We call upon the Board of Directors of our holy congregation to serve the Jewish people with love, leadership, and justice.
And so we now invite all of our new board officers and directors to read the next section and to be led by Melissa.
We accept our responsibilities as members of the Board of Directors. By this act, we acknowledge the miracle of our own creation and commit to furthering the mission of our temple. I do solemnly pledge to perform impartially, consistently, and with unyielding integrity, in accordance with the Washington Hebrew Congregation Constitution, the duties of the office I now assume. I pledge to dedicate myself to those duties upon which I ask God's blessing.
And let us all say, Amen.
Amen.
Mazel tov, everyone up here.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh. What a beautiful bima. Look at this. Thank you. Okay. Here we go.
Re-election, congratulations.
Thank you. Well, thank you all. That was so beautiful, and I am feeling so honored that so many of our past presidents are here tonight. Wow. It's hard to go at this hour, but I hope you're all willing to indulge me and give me just a few minutes, because I'm following such an incredible group of people who I feel so fortunate and so blessed to be working with. As I have thought about what it means to be a part of Washington Hebrew, our beloved synagogue, and I thought of this, our 174th annual meeting, I am just filled with gratitude. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Our clergy have made it a part of our service each Shabbat to not only recite the words Modim Anachnu Lach, but each Friday, our clergy call on us to actually share our simchas with each other, those moments for which we are grateful. Our clergy help us to take the concept and express it in community with each other, drawing us closer. 2 weeks ago, I sat right there, and a longtime congregant shared that his 17th great-grandchild had been born. A child might share a birthday. We might learn of a graduation. And last week, hundreds of us filled the Kaufman Sanctuary and celebrated our joy and expressed our gratitude to Rabbi Shankman and Cantor Bortnick as we celebrated their milestone of a quarter century at Washington Hebrew. Modim Anachnu Lach, I am so grateful. I suspect that you, like me, recall the happiest and saddest of times of your life, and you might think, at those times, I was in this space, the Albert and Shirley Small Chapel, or I was in the Kaufman Sanctuary, or I was at home with my clergy and my Washington Hebrew community. The constant being that you were with Washington Hebrew, clergy and community, the brises, the baby namings, the B'nai Mitzvot, the weddings, and the Shivas, and for each of those moments of greatest need or greatest joy, Modim Anachnu Lach. Like you, I have been very grateful. Although I am at services very often, I have to confess I have never raised my hand during that part of the service. I always take it in. I listen and I smile in the joys of others. This evening is different for me, so I hope you'll indulge me tonight. I'd like to start by taking a moment to answer our clergy's call and share with you my own Modim Anachnu Lach, for I am indeed so very, very grateful. And I'd like to preface my remarks by saying I am grateful for the big moments, those really strong memories. They often rise to the top of our consciousness when we speak of Washington Hebrew, but I am not going to speak about those tonight because what I cherish most is the everyday life of our community. For me personally and for my family, this has meant appreciating and being grateful for the worship services that have comforted us, inspired us, caused us to look at an issue a little differently, enabled us, I believe, to be better versions of ourselves. I am grateful for the educational programs that my children were able to participate in from before they could walk through today. I'm grateful for the opportunity to engage in Tikkun Olam in meaningful and accessible ways, particularly the Hunger Project, something that enables each of us to do our part to repair the world, and at the same time, enable us to build relationships across generations, across communities, across differences, because we all share the same basic Jewish value of Tikkun Olam. And I am grateful for so much more, perhaps now more than ever, for the opportunity to be a part of a community that embodies our Jewish values and ensures that our community will be here for the next generation. Modim Anachnu Lach. And this evening, as I become president of this incredible synagogue, I start with deep gratitude for our sacred partnership among lay leadership, staff, and clergy. So for each of the past presidents who continue to support our 174-year-old congregation and who offer us so much wisdom and guidance, both about our past and our potential, I am grateful for your partnership and guidance. Jeff, you are now a part of this illustrious group, and as you become part of that group, I remain grateful to you for your leadership, your willingness to listen, your willingness to engage, particularly on the challenging topics of our time. Those traits have been hallmarks of your time as president, and we are a stronger congregation because of it. I'm grateful to our board for caring so deeply about Washington Hebrew that you've chosen to devote your skills and time towards continuing to strengthen Washington Hebrew. As you have all just heard, the committees of our board are active and engaged, working closely with clergy and staff to continue to drive us forward. To Eric and our executive committee and our entire board, thank you for joining with me as lay leaders to carry on a remarkable 174-year legacy of our sacred congregation. I am so grateful to Lindsay Feldman, our executive director, who with her positive energy sets a true standard for excellence. She leads a professional staff whose dedication touches every single corner of our temple, from our safety and security to the inspired minds of our children, to our member engagements, to our adults, to our financial stewardship, and so on. I am grateful to Rabbi Schenkman, Cantor Bortnick, Rabbi Miller, Rabbi Fischel, Rabbi Schmelkin, and Cantor Leventhal. It is an understatement to say that you, like Rabbi Lustig, Cantor Manovich, and the clergy before them, have touched our lives in so many ways, and it is also true. Moreover, the joy we feel when you are all together, whether it is 2 of you on the bima or all of you together. It is palpable and contagious. I am grateful to Rabbi Shankman for her leadership that brings our clergy team together, recognizing that our clergy are not a monolith, but rather a team that brings a multifaceted richness to our community, offering us different styles and perspectives while remaining completely unified in their love and commitment to Reform Judaism and Washington Hebrew. Modim anachnu lach, I am grateful. And I am grateful to be in community with each of you. Our congregation is wonderfully diverse, representing varied backgrounds and different perspectives on, I would say, every topic. And I am grateful to be in community with such an engaged, dynamic congregation that is unified in sharing an unwavering commitment to Jewish values and ultimately to each other. Many of you may recall that this past Rosh Hashanah, Rabbi Shankman spoke about gratitude. She acknowledged the difficult time in which we are living. She spoke openly about how the world feels broken to many, that we've witnessed events and bore hardships that are difficult to navigate, that there have been seismic shifts in political discourse, that the war in Israel and the Middle East continues, and that anti-Semitism continues to rage. And although she acknowledged that the world can feel overwhelming and make us feel very lonely and disconnected, she called on us not to separate ourselves from our community, because she explained in difficult times, we need our community more than ever. Modim anachnu lach, I am grateful for the everyday joy and support I feel by being a part of Washington Hebrew, particularly in this moment, at this time. It provides us with opportunities to come together in community, and in recent years, this year in particular, in increasing numbers, our community has joined together for worship, learning, and respectful dialogue. Tikkun olam. We have learned together, we have debated the issues of our time together, and we have stood together in support of our brothers and sisters in Israel, and we have shown up, demonstrating that we will not be afraid in the face of anti-Semitism. And I believe that we, individually and as a congregation, are stronger because we heeded our rabbi's call. We did not separate ourselves from our community, but rather we came together, we stood together, and we have become more connected. Modim anachnu lach. It's a tradition for new presidents to use their time at an annual meeting to explain their goals for what they hope to accomplish during their tenure. 2 years is not a very long time in the life of our congregation. And during the first part of our meeting, you have heard substantive reports about what we have done and plan to do with respect to each of the pillars of our strategic vision. Our strategic vision will continue to guide us during the tenure of my presidency. Moreover, I am cognizant of the position that Washington Hebrew holds as one of the oldest, largest, preeminent synagogues in the country. And my commitment to each of you is to uphold our tradition of living by our Jewish values and meeting the challenges of our time by standing strong together as we have done since our founding in 1852. Indeed, it is because these times are so challenging that, relying on the reports of all of my fellow board members, I chose to spend my time this evening speaking from my heart, focused on gratitude and community. And so as I begin my presidency of our Washington Hebrew community in this year 5786, my goal is simple and quite ambitious: to ensure that in sacred partnership with our clergy and professional staff, Washington Hebrew congregation remains a safe space for our congregants to seek and find community, where we can join together in worship, where we can and will fight the scourges of anti-Semitism and hatred together, where we can learn together, where we can join together in support of our family in Israel and in support of peace, and where we can strive, as Washington Hebrew congregation has done for 175 years, to repair the world together. Thank you.
Please stand. I think that would be I invite you all to join with me and Melissa as we join together in Shehechianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh Amen.
Thanks. We get the honor of closing us out this evening in some prayer and a little song. And so a closing prayer for our congregation in this momentous moment. Mishaberach Avotenu V'Imotenu, may the one who blessed our ancestors, may the one who blessed the scouts Caleb and Joshua, who looked out to the promised land and did see those giants and did see those enemies, but chose to see a land flowing with milk and honey. May our Holy One bless this holy community as well. May we too look out into a complicated world, see the darkness, and yet choose to see the light. May the strength of this community allow us to see that light again and again. And this year, may this congregation continue to create that light. May our roots ground us, and may we rise to new heights. And may we say together, Amen.
By it all, we have come.
Thank you all for being with us. I think I get to now officially declare that this annual meeting is concluded, so please join us in the lobby for dessert.